Yeah, hi everybody. This is Ryan back here with you again. May 21st. We got that massive 13-stop cabinet load finished up with that last stop over in Canada. I got all the paperwork done last night. I was a little frustrated about that. Usually the agents here at Landstar, they typically handle all the customs broker stuff. I had called them on Monday, what was that, the 19th? 18th or 19th, I think Monday was. And I was trying to get everything set up and ready to go, and they didn't know who the broker was, and it was just a big mess. And it finally came down yesterday to, like, the last minute, the last day, last hour, whatever. And I had to call Landstar customer service finally to get the agent to work with me and get this thing done, because you can't go to the border unless the customs and all that went to a broker and it's all been accepted, because there's pretty substantial fines if you show up at a border and it hasn't been sent in and accepted to Canadian customs or U.S. customs if you're coming back. So I ended up getting all that done. I had to fax all that stuff in myself, which at Mercer I had to do it that way here. And like I said, the agents usually take care of it. So it's the first time I've had to do it myself here. But so got in, got out. It was actually the shortest Canadian trip I've ever had. The place was like 1.5 miles from the border crossing, the place that I delivered those 22 cabinets at. So I was like literally from the time that I went across the border and came back over, I was over there for like 1 hour and 15 minutes. So that went pretty well. There wasn't any lines or anything. So it was not a bad trip, and easy last delivery, so everything went pretty smooth. Other than I was up till, like I said, 7 o'clock last night getting the paperwork done, and we had trouble with the fax machine at the little truck stop I was at up there. So that was quite a struggle. So I'm glad that's all over. I got some pretty good loads booked. I just called. I've got a load out of Upper Sandusky that I'm going to leave out of here tonight. I'm stopped down by Roscommon, Michigan, at a little truck stop here. And got a shower. I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but like I said, I was way overdue for a shower with doing all that extra work and everything, because it wasn't a shower at the place I stopped at last night. So I got that done, and then I kind of felt a lot better. So I figured I'll go ahead and do a video while I'm here and give you guys an update. So like I said, I got a load I'm picking up. It's already ready. I just called the agent. Trailer's already loaded down in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. So I'm going to grab that up on my way home. Go back home for the weekend. Only leave out Monday night. That load has a stop in Ingleside, Illinois, I believe. Up there kind of on the northwest side, Chicago area, up in Lake County. Kind of where I used to live. My last duty station up at Great Lakes Naval Station, not too far from there. So I kind of know the neck of the woods. Then after that, it's going out to Twin Falls, Idaho. Last delivery out there on the 26th in the morning. I found another load. It's pretty tight. I don't usually book them back to back like this, that close. But there was a pretty halfway decent rate for coming out of the northwest there, out of Idaho especially, load out of Boise. I got to pick it up at 1300 1 p.m. It's about 115 miles or so from Twin Falls over to Boise, so I think we should be okay with that, as long as I can get out of the Twin Falls by about 11 o'clock or so. Should be fine. So that load's going over to Manassas, Virginia. The load board rate on that was $220, I believe. The load board rate on the first load from Ohio out to Idaho was $255, and they're both light loads. I've hauled for the customer out of Ohio before. They are it's like the pads for the shipping docks, those black pads you see around the doors. That's what that is. They're usually only like 15,000 pounds. The load I got coming out of Idaho, it's 25,000 pounds going to another construction site in Virginia. But all in, figured I did all the math on this. So I'm going to have 8 nights out, because I'm going to be back on my night schedule, which I'm very happy to be getting back on that. And so 8 nights running, 9 days out for this. I'm going to be at $68.57 on the gross income or revenue to the truck. So that puts me, it's total of I figured my mileage, everything in here, both trips, I'm at about 4,250 miles, so that puts me right at about $1.61 for all loaded miles round trip. And after my expenses on that, net income pre-tax puts me about 87 cents a mile. So that leaves me right about $3,700 there for 8 nights, and 8 nights divided that by 37 puts me at $462.50 or so. So right around $450 basically per day, and that's after all expenses. What I'm kind of figuring. So I think in a week and a half, $3,700. It's halfway decent money in this this market. I mean, rates are improving. Seeing some decent volume. I mean, like I said, I like to run west, northwest, and from my searches that I've had set up, I'm starting to see stuff popping back up. That's on the load board in the the 240 to 250 range. I've seen some stuff pop up in 270s, and that puts me up to that. I think $1.60 to me right now with that amount of mile. I mean, short haul, no, that's not very good money. But me, I'm a long haul guy. I'd rather take a little bit less of a rate than not have to deal with the hassles of booking, dealing with more agents, dealing with more loads, more customers, more shippers and receivers, more chances of loads canceling. This is what I like: one load out, one load back. If I can get a load out of Virginia, Manassas, that isn't too far from my house. I mean, 450, 500 miles or so. So if I can't find anything or nobody wants to pay, then may head back to the house. I'd like to get another load out of there back to Ohio or somewhere close on the way, that could add a little bit more icing on top to that. So that's kind of what we're looking at here next week. Like I said, I'm gonna leave out of here tonight, probably about 11. Get down there to Ohio, about 4.5 hours out. Grab that load up about 3:30, so I can then hopefully be back home by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I don't have to leave out till Monday, so get a little time off in there. We got a high tunnel greenhouse is set up at home. If the weather's good, I want to get that set up because we got plants that need to go in the ground. So get that knocked out. Probably going to leave the truck up at my yard with the trailer instead of bringing it home to do it, because I think we've done everything we need to do. I got to fix that one switch on the tri-pack, but I may just pick up a switch at Napa or something and do that on the road when I'm not doing anything. So I like to kind of keep my home time for doing other stuff. We did a lot of work on the truck last time I was home. So, but that's kind of where we're at for next week and next week and a half. So that'd put me, like I said, 8 days. That's a lot. My average is going to be about 565 miles a day, and I'm kind of including my deadhead because I'm going to be going back, towards Akron. So I'm going to have about 100 miles or so that I had to add in to, kind of the cost of going home. So it's going to be a little tight. Definitely, we'll be getting into recap hours on that though, so it should be all right on time. I mean, I've actually done in a 7.5 day, 8 day period, I believe. I've done like 4,700 miles before running, out to California and back. So it can be done. Just have to run the speed limits. So we'll see if everything follows through and get it done, and hopefully it'll be a good week and get back home on the 3rd or 4th of June. Take another week off or so and get, because it's going to be our growing season in Northeast Ohio usually starts, the weather cleans up and gets better there 1st of June or so. I mean, it's the way it has been the last couple of years. But like I said, also I forgot, came across the Mackinac Bridge up here. I got a dash cam video of that. I just took off. It looks pretty good. Only thing that sucks, the bugs are really bad up here for some reason right now. I mean, my whole windshield was covered. I stopped like 4 miles at the rest area on the southbound side and cleaned off my windshield before I went across it because I wanted it to be nice and clean. But unfortunately, there was one bug spot kind of on the right side. I mean, it's just there. You can see it, but straight ahead looks pretty good. So I mean, I think it's a pretty nice video. I had to pay $25 each way, so it's $50. I mean, I'm gonna give it to y'all for free so you all can see that experience. Pretty cool bridge. I mean, I've been across the Golden Gate. The Golden Gate is a lot wider, but this one's pretty narrow, and it's a pretty nice view up there. So I'll get that to my wife, and she'll get that put together, and we'll get that out to you this weekend as well, hopefully. So I got a couple other videos, like I said, I was going to talk about the recap hours and kind of some time management stuff, how I look at things on long haul, short haul, speed, and all that kind of all comes into play with the time management thing. And I'm going to do part of it in the truck on the Qualcomm or IVG, Omnitrax, whatever they're calling it these days. And the second part I wanted to do on the whiteboard, because I had done one here in the truck last Sunday when I was sitting up in Indianapolis, Whitestown at the TA there, waiting to start this cabinet load. And I did it on my notepad, and I just didn't really like how it came out, so I decided I'd do it at home and make it look a little cleaner and more presentable for y'all. So I had that, and the PDI video, I know we had a lot of inquiries about that, a lot of questions. Like I said, my phone camera makes it the screen pulse on there, so I'm going to try my wife's camera, and maybe we can get that done when I'm at home this time and get that out to you. So I just did an update on the PDI. If you have a PDI out there and you're trying to do an update and you're trying to use the hotspot on your phone, you have to change it. My phone has a 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, so you have to go into your hotspot and change that to 2.4 gigahertz. It will not connect. It will not even see your hotspot Wi-Fi at the 5 gigahertz. So you got to change it to the 2.4, and then it will connect, and you can do all your updates. Because once I did an update, I got a whole different screen and everything on there, and so it's improved a lot. And actually, you can do a forced regen on it, and you can do a DPF, a differential pressure test, and all that too. So it's I'm starting to like. I wasn't really too satisfied with it before, but now it's I kind of like some of the features, and it's kind of growing on me a little bit more, and maybe a little bit more worth the value or the price. So that's what we got going on. Thanks for the support, the comments. Please like the video if you like us, and subscribe, and we'll keep putting more out as they come. So thanks for watching.